Hey guys, I'm back. Today we're going to be looking at some of my older customs and beginning the process of refurbishment. For context, I started making these back when the 80th anniversary Metal Collection line was revealed in March, and I realized some of the models wouldn't look the best for certain characters. It started with just making TV series accurate bodies and putting them on the footplate of All Engines Go push-alongs, but now I've started completely redesigning the chassis and portions of the body to look more like little proper replicas and to be more consistent with my S-scale models, which I plan on using together for my series. My current plan is to modify the models I currently have so they will be more consistent with the S-scale models, seeing as characters like Duck or Donald Douglas, they're already shaping up to look like their S-scale counterparts besides the chassis. So I just want to redo engines 1 to 7. But first, let's talk about their inconsistencies. Starting with Edward was my first model and has surprisingly held up. He uses a take-and-play Talking Edward smoke box with a scratch-built boiler, and everything else like the cab, footplate, and chassis is from a All Engines Go Edward. My biggest issues with this are the boiler size, which is slightly too small when compared to the new James, and the sloppy lining on the boiler. I hand painted it and I wasn't that straight, which really shows. I also want to repaint these in a darker color to match my S-scale models, since once again I plan on interchanging between them in my series. So yeah, moving on to his tender, I used a Take-Along Gordon tender body, an All Engines Go Hero chassis, and the tender footplate from All Engines Go Edward. Similar to the main engine, it has held up, and currently my only plan is to repaint it. Overall, Edward's nice and has held up fairly well. He does need some improvement. Anyway, next is she was the first engine to be completely scratch built and uses All Engines Go wheels and a Tommy Thomas wheel, as well as side rods from the same Tommy Thomas. The main issue with her is her paint, which was rushed, uneven, and sloppy. I mainly want to repaint her and fix some inaccurate details, as well as adding her whistle. Her tender is made from a Take-and-Play Emily body and an All Engines Go Hero footplate and chassis, which I would like to say, do not use the Hero footplate. Since Hero's tender is one whole piece, I literally had to use a Dremel and a craft knife to remove the footplate, and it left the main body unusable. As for changes, I just want to make it longer, possibly using a take-along tender, and give it a more consistent paint color to the main engine, seeing as currently Emily is matte and her tender was the unpainted take-and-play version. Moving on to Percy, he's made with a take-along Percy body and an All Engines Go plastic push-along chassis. He's pretty good. I had to replace the smoke box with one from an Adventures Percy due to the original one being broken from me forcefully taking the face off. I want to repaint him since he's already pretty good proportion-wise. And I might try to add his pistons, but I'm not sure about that. Next up is Toby. Oh, Toby. He was the second model I made, and alongside Edward and Diesel was actually in my first video. He's just a sloppily repainted All Engines Go Toby with a cardboard face, and I'm not even going to beat around the bush. I want to completely re-scratch build him. He uses the All Engines Go Toby as stated, and it's not a bad version of Toby, nor is it a bad toy, nor is it a bad representation of Toby and All Engines Go. The thing I don't like is that it's so wide and tall. Now that was fine a few months ago when I wanted television accurate proportions and details, But now I want to go on the more slightly railway series and realistic side of things. He's so big, which, yeah, prop Toby is, and by S-scale Toby is based on the prop, but I might use a 2020 Toby as the base for my next one. Moving on to Gordon, he's a similar case to Emily, in which he's one of my first completely scratch build models. I think it was the second one, because I do have some work in progress photos of him with Emily. But the difference is, his paint wasn't rushed and he actually looks half decent. At this point, I just want to redo the bogey attachment because it's not the best and sometimes the front and back bogies fall off. Henry's the same, but I want to partially rebuild him to be more realistic, as well as shortening his front foot plate, his front buffer beam. Their tenders are also in need of a repaint, so that's also going to be taken care of. Now that we have addressed the issues, it's time to start with removing their chassis and wheels to strip their paint. Now that that's done, I just put them in a container with some other random parts and some rubbing alcohol. Now that that's done, let's take some time to conceptualize what I want the models to look like. First, there are the obvious ones, James, Thomas, and Percy. Toby is the main engine I would like to change. I would like to completely scratch build a body for him, and I have completed this edit as a concept. The rest are pretty self-explanatory, so here are some pictures of what I plan to do. That being said, I hope you enjoy this video. This video was going to come out slightly earlier, but I wanted to redo some of the lines for this video, and of course my Ruby Thomas video came out. Go give that a watch if you haven't. Subscribe if you want more, but until then, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.